at the National Army Museum in front of Captain William Siborne's model of Waterloo. This is a remarkable piece. It is nearly 420 square feet, 417 to be precise, populated with 80,000 just under half-inch figures, one for every 2 soldiers on the battlefield. It is a scale of 9 feet to the mile, which means that it can encompass the entirety of Waterloo in 39 detailed sections. Now, Siborne was a little too late to actually fight at Waterloo. He served with the Army of Occupation, but he graduated Sandhurst in 1814 and didn't quite make it there. He was commissioned in 1830 by Lord Hill, then Commander-in-Chief, to create this model as a national military work. The idea was to make it educational and a piece of entertainment at the same time, right? It was what we would now today call edutainment. He then spent 8 months surveying the battlefield, staying at La Haye-Sainte, and sent out over 500 requests for information to various officers and soldiers that had served there. Not just British, but Prussians, Hanoverians, even some French, although we don't talk about those too much. Having gained a detailed understanding of the battle, he decided to set his model at what is generally considered to be the crisis point, around 7 p.m. on the night of the 18th of June. Now, the problem, from Siborne's point of view, although he wasn't aware that it was a problem at the time, was that by the time we get to 7 p.m., the Prussians are close enough to be in the model. And this caused a massive amount of problems for Siborne. He was lambasted by British officers for including them and for, and I will quote from Captain John Kincaid here, including them and giving an equal division of the glory to a power that did not taste our equal division in the labor. This was made worse by the fact that Wellington was also of the same view as Kincaid, and not only disapproved, but categorically refused to support the model in any way. He didn't back it, and crucially, he didn't see it ever. He refused to, he went out of his way to not approve of it. He was asked in 1840 by the Countess of Wilton why he had never seen the model, and he responded that he was, quote, he was unwilling to give any sanction to the truth of such a representation in this model, which must have resulted from his visiting it. So he knew exactly what he was doing, and he knew exactly why he couldn't see it. Siborne displayed it multiple times, never quite getting out from under the debt involved in it. Because while Hill had commissioned it, in the aftermath of the Great Reform Act, the government withdrew their funding. They said he could keep the £500 he had already gotten if he finished it. So he had to finish the rest on his own money. It served as a millstone around his neck until he died in 1849. 2 years after he died, the regiments changed their tune, and it was purchased by a subscription by the regiments that had fought at Waterloo, donated to the Royal United Services Institute, and therefore found its way here to the National Army Museum.